Happy Thursday, Marks. You know what today is, right? It's AEW time, right? Wrong. There's stupid NBA going on. But that's okay. We got tons of other cool stuff to talk about. We got a retirement. We got the Go-Home show and a preview for NXT TakeOver In Your House. That's too long of a name. And much, much more. This is TSL.
One, two, three, four.
Welcome back to Total Spotfest Live. I am JJ Brownlee, accompanied to my side by my illustrious co-host, Mr. Jamie Faulkner.
I prefer to be called a Sith Lord right now.
He is definitely how about Sith Demi-Lord? Can we go there?
That's fair.
Okay, all right. I mean, yeah, you are Jamie for the next few weeks. I think is going to be just rocking out on all the apparel he brought back from Florida.
Yes.
So thank you for joining us. This is Total Spotfest Live. I'm rocking the new Danhausen, which is fan-freaking-tastic. Oh my god,
Very nice, very evil.
Yeah, it is. It is both of those things. So. This is Total Spotfest Hausen. We do want to thank you guys for joining us today. So, like Jamie said, yeah, this is usually our AEW Dynamite review, but with AEW Dynamite being diverted by the NBA playoffs, we are going to switch gears a little bit today. So, there's two pay-per-views coming up this weekend. We do want to talk about them. And once again, busyness in the wrestling news world. So, if you are watching on YouTube, we do appreciate it. If you want to get in touch with us, just give us a comment down below, or you can holler at us on Twitter. It's at Total Spotfest. Jamie, if you want to holler at him directly, is at JFaulkner56. I am at JMoney1536, and let's just get right into it because you're gonna start us off, Jamie, and I'm gonna get so fanboy giddied up here. I want to get right to it. So let's give the first and probably my personal favorite piece of news from this past week.
Okay. So the first big piece of news is Camera Grabs got released. Wait, no, I'm kidding.
Wah, wah, wah.
That'd make me all giddy. No, actually, I don't want anybody to lose their job, joking aside. But anyway, the number one thing was our friends at Journey Pro Wrestling here in Kansas City. The best independent wrestling in Kansas City is officially back. We have a new venue.
Back, bitches!
And they have a tentative date right now. They have not given a confirmed date. I'm not going to say the date because obviously we don't know. But they said if you had July 30th, something like that might be a good day.
They said like be mindful. They're very cryptic. They're be mindful to keep the around July 30th open. They keep saying
any Fridays near there, which I thought was great. So it's gonna be Fridays.
Fridays is great. Yes.
Yes. So they're back. And the great thing, too, when I saw that, I also went out on the Twitter and the Instagrams and everywhere, and a lot of our favorite independent wrestlers were retweeting it, getting excited.
Oh, yeah.
Gary J, he
I got likes from Gary J.
Yeah, so Gary J posted on it. Of course, Laney Luck, Hoodie Howlett. The Regal Twins even did something, the Royal Blood or whatever they're going by right now in New Japan.
Right. Matt Fisher did.
Yeah.
The besties. Yep.
Yeah, one of the besties did. And of course, our good friend Wyatt, he did. Best heel in the independent scene.
He's been champion. He's been what? St. Louis Anarchy champion or Gateway champion for 3 years now. Is it?
He's Bruno Sammartino in it.
Right.
But yeah, no. So it's official, and you know what? This is what I think we should do. I think we should give out tickets to somebody to come with us.
Ooh.
Any local Kansas Cityans, or if they're not local,
if
they're
you
willing to fly
drive
here or drive here, you could come party with us. We'll buy the first round, maybe the second round, because there's two of us, and maybe we'll make the new boy buy 3 rounds, whatever, or the young boy, sorry, when he does come back.
Boy. If he does come back.
If he does come back, obviously. Hopefully he does. But
He will. He's a young boy. He's not going to be here. We're the hosts, Jamie and I. We run this shit, and we'll see the young boy occasionally. It's okay.
Because we sent him away, folks. Just in all honesty, we did send him away for him to learn how to do a Spanish fly and a lion tamer, just for us, and how to take it as well. Just because we want to see him get Spanish flied and put in a lion tamer for all of us. So
it's for the betterment of the wrestling community, to be honest with you.
So be on the lookout for a giveaway for tickets to go see Journey Pro. We'll be on our dime. Obviously, we're not going to ask Journey Pro to pay for it because they deserve our money. We will buy these tickets and we will give them away to anybody. That is, we'll do it at random. You got to like our tweet when we put it out there. So make sure you follow us on Twitter at Total Spotfest, and we will definitely go over it with you. But great news in Kansas City. There is amazing independent wrestling with a lot of big names. I'm looking forward to it. As soon as their card comes out, we're going to be talking about it.
Oh, we're going to be all over this. We might even try to get DJ or the guy Walter. I'm going to try to get them. Maybe we get one of them on here one time because so excited. They're such great guys, both of them.
They're good dudes. Like you can't help but cheer for those guys. Like they're just good dudes.
Genuinely good guys who just love wrestling. When NWL fell apart, both of them, they just were bummed because they're like us. They were just fans, right? They're just marks like us, and they wanted to. There was really no other wrestling. There was KC Extreme Wrestling, which is, it's an even more developmental brand here in Kansas City. Which good on them. Hey, get started, get in where you can, get started somewhere, right?
If it's baseball, it's high A.
Yeah, maybe independent league.
Rookie ball.
Yeah, maybe independent league, but definitely down. But hey, that's fine. You got to start somewhere, right? So there wasn't anything to fill that gap, and we don't have like the inroads like Memphis or St. Louis or Chicago or wrestling hotbeds. There's not. So they're like, we could probably do something. We could figure this out. So they just did, and it's fantastic. It was so good. We talked about it a lot before. The people who've been through, so happy. You didn't even mention where it's going to be, though. That was probably one of the things that I love the most.
Oh, it's at Blip Roasters and
Blip Coffee Roasters, which is in the West Bottoms. For those of you not familiar with Kansas City, it's an industrial area that's right by like all the railroads and stuff. We used to be a rail town. The whole beef trade from Dallas to Chicago. But it's one of those, like, I don't want to say gentrified, but it's one of those areas that's got to get, bunch of warehouses kind of, with a bunch of hipster stuff going on. So it's a cool spot. There's going to be alcohol, coffee, and food served there. They have an outdoor bar area. They're doing a new ticketing system, so we don't have to sit there and wait in line outside of like we had to do before, outside of, and they give our name and look up on. So it's all in all, not only are they coming back from the dead, they're coming back better than ever. It's going to be fantastic.
Yes. And if you do not follow them on any of their social media, shame on you. Do that.
Shame.
And just get out there. Love them. They're doing it right. They're trying to make wrestling in Kansas City relevant, and I am here for it. They deserve my money because I want it to be successful just as much as they do. And we should just love and support them because they deserve it. Again, they're good people. If they're dicks, we probably wouldn't do it at all. But they are not dicks. They are nice folk, and I want to support good peeps.
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe some of these newly released wrestlers we'll get to see. Maybe.
Yeah.
Hey, Ruby. Hey, maybe come to Kansas City. Just saying. I gotta find a way to get my shouts at Ruby in somewhere since she's not on a wrestling.
She's
show
not.
right
She's not Ruby anymore. She's Heidi Lovelace.
Well, when she makes it Twitter official, so when that happens, I will definitely start. It'll morph. Don't worry.
Fair.
I swear I'm not obsessed.
No, not at all.
Moving right along. Well, that's a bad look for JJ. Moving right along. Yeah. So along with that, now you talked about wrestling in Kansas City. We already know that it's a great time for us here, thankfully, because also AEW announced that in November, Full Gear is going to be in St. Louis, and we are definitely. I for sure am. I think you. I know you're pretty much in too. We're going to St. Louis. We're going to check that out.
Yeah, I probably have to clear it with the boss, aka the wife, but I think she'll be in, and Megan will probably want to tag along, which is fine.
It's St. Louis, so even if you can't do the whole weekend like I'm going to do,
Yeah.
you come down the day of. You
Oh
park
no,
out.
we're doing Fan Fest, and we'll probably stay.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm probably going down the night before to go to a hockey game too, if the Blues are in town. But anywho, we're getting off topic. Yeah, so St. Louis is going to be that. There's more because in kind of a surprise announcement, NWA and Billy Corgan had a little press conference. I believe it was Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, with one Mickie James.
What?
You're like, her 90-day no compete's not up. What is this about? Well, don't you worry. She's not wrestling yet. She is producing and putting on the first ever NWA all women's pay-per-view.
That's going to be amazing.
Yes, it is going to be very good. And that's going to be August 28th in St. Louis.
Oh.
And the next night, August 29th in St. Louis, is NWA 73, their anniversary pay-per-view. Yes. I told you not to read that article before we started recording here. I was like, I want to surprise you with that because, yes. Yes. 2 nights of pay-per-view wrestling, a full women's pay-per-view produced by Mickie James.
Their women's division is really good.
I mean, Serena Deeb. I looked up the girl who beat her, this Camille.
Camille.
My God, you talk about she's like a white Jade Cargill. The muscles on this woman, it's crazy. And Thunder Rosa, of course, is still somewhat affiliated with. I mean, she's still on contract with them.
Yeah,
she does more for Mission Pro than she does for NWA and AEW. But whatever.
Well, that's hers. That's her baby.
Mission Pro is hers, but plus, and AEW, you get more eyes. But she's still there. I mean, you got a lot of women. And I suspect a lot of women too from Mission Pro and AEW will be involved in this because I don't know what their official roster looks like. NWA, if I'm not mistaken, is a pay-per-show contract.
Yes,
sort of thing,
that's what Allison Kay said. They are definitely a paper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Lady Frost is there.
I fucking love her.
She is awesome,
dude. So
have you seen her T-shirt? That's like the Super Mario Brothers, but
yes.
the frosted mini kicks. Yes.
So I love her.
Shirt.
So one of my favorite moves by her by far is that like deadpan drop kick in the back where she's completely straight like a board, dude. I love that thing. Lady Frost. Like I've watched so many of her indie wrestling stuff. Man, I'm a huge fan of her. Like I hate to say it. I'm not ashamed to say it. I think I appreciate women's wrestling more than I appreciate men's nowadays because I feel like the women are way more creative. They're more athletic nowadays than they ever have been. Like it is a great time for women's wrestling, and there's so many great people out there.
I think that we're in an era. It's definitely just as a culture we're more not just wrestling, but as a culture we're more accepting of different things, right?
Yeah.
So with that, you don't have to be like Vince McMahon likes. You don't have to be blonde and big boobed. You can be big and tall and beefy, or you could be just a larger chick, or thick but strong, like Jordan Grace. She would never make it in WWE. They'd never give her a shot. She's a former Impact. She's a former Impact World or Women's and Tag Team Champion. Ruby Riott, who everybody knows my affinity for. The tattooed punk. You got so many different in there. You got there's Indian women and black women, and I think that a lot of that comes into play. Just in our, which is why I think because they're finally given and there's so many outlets. They're given this creative reign where they can actually be who they want to be and make cool characters. So I'm with you. That's why I think I like women's wrestling a lot more now than I ever have.
Because the best way to put it, I think women's wrestling right now reminds me of 90s men's wrestling. That's probably the best way I can put it. Like, they were getting creative. They were coming up with some cool stuff, like the rise of Britt Baker, the rise of Becky Lynch, the man, that whole thing, completely organic, came up with it, ran with it, And it's amazing to see this meteoric rise from these women who are not only spitting mad game on the mic, which if you remember the days of Sable, come on now, like you really appreciate it. But man, just women's wrestling right now is so damn good. And the fact that NWA is doing an all women's pay-per-view, 4 hours away from us, 3 hours and 30 minutes if you drive it the way I do.
Oh, you drive like me. Good.
I feel like we have to go. I feel like it's
I definitely want to go at least to the women's show.
At least the men, like, okay, so the men on NWA are just okay, in my opinion, comparatively, because their women are just like, it's like so bad. Like,
Well, yeah. I mean, as
in like disparity, because the women are
it's a shame, too. I think that I hate to say this, but I think that, the paper contract thing really comes into play there for that,
Totally agree.
Especially coming off of COVID where nobody could work, MWA almost folded. They went knocking, from what I heard, Billy Corgan went knocking on Vince's door off. Hey, you want to buy this? You want to buy this? And he's like, nope.
Yeah.
Which is shocking, But anywho, maybe both, but yeah, August 28th and 29th in St. Louis. There's your little surprise for you.
I'm in. I'm definitely in on the women's.
I'm definitely in. That's one. Even if we just go for the women's and drive back that night, cool.
Yeah,
whatever.
same. Yeah, I'll do an all nighter.
Get back at 3 a.m. Sure, whatever.
I mean, we gotta stop on the way back and get some White Castle though.
Well, I didn't even want to say that because that's the given, of course.
I feel like it's assumed. Yeah.
So I went grocery shopping after work today. I went and they had the frozen White Castles, which is they're fine. They're not the same, but it's better than nothing. And I didn't realize I grabbed the wrong one, so I always get the cheeseburgers, right? And they had the jalapeno cheeseburgers, and I'm like, I didn't even know they made you.
Either do
Okay. Who knew? I haven't ate them yet. I get that and pizza. That's my weekend because that's where my cheat food is because I'm trying to lose weight. So during the week, I'm trying to be all, whatever,
Hey, I'm down 39 pounds, baby.
I know. Well, I took a little bump up there because I took some time off my bike when my grandfather died,
Yeah.
So it got away from me a little bit. You got to take breaks. But anyway, working on it. Oh, and they have Emo's Pizza, too, by the way. So I got White Castle and Emo's Pizza. I'm in St. Louis heaven right now.
As much as I don't like St. Louis, mainly because of their sports and their arrogant fans, I do like their food.
Moving on. Let's go Blues. Moving on.
Hockey fans aren't arrogant, okay? Except for Detroit. Fuck Detroit.
Well, Blackhawk fans. You must not know any Blackhawks. If you ever hear people when we talk about St. Louis for Chicago, why do I not like Chicago? Because Blackhawk fans. Oh, even the ones that are friends of mine, like our buddy Jacoby,
Yeah.
He's still just an arrogant prick when when hockey's on, it just turns into Anyway, it's a thing. Let's move on. You had another bit of news you wanted to get to. I had a couple things too. So why don't you give your headline?
So sad news in the world of wrestling. Leo Rush has decided to retire due to continuous injury issues. After the Double or Nothing pay-per-view, he actually separated his AC joint in that match. And
I don't know where, but because he was only in there for like 2 seconds. But still.
Well, I think that's why he was out so fast.
That makes sense.
So the thing with Leo, there was already plans. He said it that he was going to sign with AEW and he was going to be part of New Japan. He's going to be the first ever multi-brand talent signing.
Sure.
And he talked with his family and he wants to be there for his kids because like right now he said he can't even pick up his newborn baby. And it's like, dude, you got to do what you got to do. I hope it's just temporary because he's got so much damn talent. We all know his mic skills are great. He is the man of the hour. I hated him in WWE, but ever since he left WWE, I became honestly one of the biggest Leo Rush fans. I hope nothing but the best for this guy. I want him on my TV or near me, like at Trinity Pro, someday, wrestling in front of me. But it's probably not in the cards for a while at least. So he might come back, but it sounds like it's a for real deal.
And I respect that, and it was a shocking thing to hear because you're like, retired. Really? You're like 27. What? But yeah, your body takes a toll, and not everybody has the gumption to pull the plug. You know, and it's the same thing we talk about like football players. Whenever you hear somebody retires when they're, 5 years in the league and like retiring, how could you retire? You have so much. And it's like, well, I want to be able to, walk when I'm 70.
Look at Barry Sanders, perfect example.
Same thing, absolutely. So
Left early.
I can appreciate that, and while I don't want to speculate what the future is, but I think there's a good chance that maybe down the road he comes back at least on a little bit of a basis. You never know.
Yeah.
Shit, Sting's wrestling again. Yes, I know, but we all thought for sure he was in WWE to make that appearance, that to check that box off his list, and then off to sunset.
Yep.
So, I mean, you never know, never rule it out, but we do wish Leo Rush the best. Best of luck with everything, Leo. Leo's talented as shit anyway. He could get jobs in Hollywood. I'm sure he can get a job in Hollywood or some. He's got the mic skills. He could be a commentator. He'd be a fan-freaking-tastic commentator.
Oh man, he would be a great commentator. And the thing is too, like he also produces his own music and stuff. So he does some hip hop and stuff like that. So the guy's multi-talented. He's gonna be successful with whatever he touches because he's not afraid of hard
money.
Yeah.
He's so money. He looks like money. He smells like money. Oh no, we're not doing that bit. Okay.
No.
All right. I can see Jamie's disposition change drastically. So let's move on. Somebody who's not retiring is AOP. There was a weird rumor that said AOP, Authors of Pain, for those of us who can't speak more than letters, that they were retiring as well. I don't know where it came from. It's reported by Fightful Select, which is odd because they're usually like really spot on with their insider information. But they both came out, Akeem and Rezar, and on Instagram, on each of their Instagram, they posted the same picture and said, "We're not done yet," something of that nature. So they're not retired.
No one's heard from them since they got released over
They got
a year
released
ago.
in September of last year. So, it's been a long time. I did see a note as well out there that apparently Braun Strowman's rate, his fee that he charges for like appearances or whatever is 5 figures is all that it said. It didn't say how big or how little in 5 figures, but if you can do math, that's a minimum of $10,000.
No, thank you.
We're not going to see him at Journey Pro, that's for sure.
Yeah.
You want to get these hands? We're going to talk about NXT coming up here. There's an interesting bit. I know we usually do like the numbers every Tuesday, but just as a spoiler, NXT viewership from last night was up.
It was.
Which is the first of any wrestling show since like the NBA playoffs started, really. That's been up.
They went from 668 to 669.
Hey, up is up. The same thing when I said that's my motto in the casino. Up is up. If I leave with more money that came in, it's a win.
Absolutely.
And there was more dive. I don't know. I think a lot of people are looking for things to talk about. They keep going back to numbers from Fridays and how it's trends, and it's an aberration. Just relax, guys. Playoffs are on. Dynamite's not their normal night. Okay. What's interesting though, there's a rumor that happened today that apparently there's a possibility of Aleister Black re-signing with WWE, or at least WWE trying to re-sign Aleister Black. Let me put it that way.
I hope he doesn't.
It's just like water cooler rumors right now. We don't know, but there's been rumblings. I know that. I don't know. I don't want him to either. I want to see Tommy End do great things. He has been the most forgiving, if you want to say, to WWE. He's been the most outspoken of anybody who's gotten released. He's immediately hopped on Thea Trinidad, his wife's Twitch, did an hour-long thing, like 3 days in a row. He was interviewed by Renee Paquette, and he's been very gracious. It just kind of speaks to the type of person he is. But he has no ill will towards them, and this is kind of how he is in general. But I don't know. I think that I think a lot of it depends on his wife. If they are really working on something for his wife, they're trying to get her back there, that could maybe influence his decision.
Yeah, maybe.
But I don't know.
But,
I don't know. They were both apparently really cool. Like when she got fired, he's like, hey, that's her deal. I love her. Me as a husband, I have my thoughts here, but me as Aleister Black, I feel like that. So that's it. Last bit of news before we get into talk about some wrestling. More stonks going on, Jamie. More stonk news, okay? It doesn't involve your favorite NXT wrestler. It does involve the company that he works for, though. So WWE stock surged to a 52-week high this morning.
Ooh.
Because of a subreddit / Wall Street Bets. The stonk thing got on WWE, apparently.
Oh,
now,
really?
Yeah, which is ironic because their character they're pushing so hard in NXT, which JB hates, that's the whole premise for him getting the push he's getting now. It's the stonk thing. So, yeah, Wrestling Inc. had news about it. I think it was reported by WrestleNomics that.
Yeah, sure did. It went up $6.33, and then $1.52 in after-hours trading right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not that great with stock market things. That's not my shtick. I mean, I can never figure it out. But anyway, I just thought that was a very interesting little sub note. I was like, huh. But of course they wouldn't necessarily go up on their own volition, but it was due to Reddit that WWE got boosted. So
That's funny.
there you go. All right. So we have a couple pay-per-views coming up this week, and we will have a show Monday morning going over NXT's TakeOver In Your House 2021. I kept calling it Take In Your House 2 last time. That's not the technical name of it, but it is. And then also the night before, this coming Saturday, is Impact's Against All Odds.
Yes.
So 2 nights ago, excuse me, I'm trying to think. It wasn't, because 2 nights ago, Tuesday night, it's still weird for NXT being on Tuesday. I still haven't fully adjusted to that. But Tuesday night was NXT's Go-Home show, okay? So they finalized the card, and I'll talk about that here at the end. Jamie's going to run through it, the card. We're going to give you our picks. We'll give you mine and Jamie's picks right now, and then we'll get Young Boy and we'll get Megan's picks as well. And then we need to talk at the end of before we sign off on the podcast here, Jamie. I have an idea for our tiebreaker for AEW, but we'll get to that. So.
Okay.
Last time was a go-home show. It was actually a very typical go-home show style, right? So you had a lot of kind of, one-offs, people that are in matches, playing. But you also had, it's interesting because they don't have a ton of matches in this. So you actually had a lot of matches that were pretty good matches that weren't necessarily reflective of the actual pay-per-view. You had Austin Theory versus Oney Lorcan, for example, which was your opening match.
Interesting.
Which was I know it's adjacent. It's Pete Dunne and Johnny Gargano adjacent, but
Sure.
It was actually a really entertaining match, highlighted by one of the best Spanish flies I have ever seen in my life. And I only say that because it was so different than ever Spanish fly I've seen. So Oney Lorcan sitting on the top rope, right? And Jake Atlas does a dead leap up to a spring board off of the top rope. He jumps up, grabs him, Oney Lorcan, like around his arm, and springboards at the same time into a Spanish fly.
Interesting.
There's a GIF. Go online, go on Twitter and look it up. They have a GIF. NXT has a GIF of it. It is amazing. It was so good looking. Yeah. So that was my move of the night by far. A springboard Spanish fly. I never have seen that personally. It's kind of like when Kushida did that arm bar reversal Spanish fly.
Oh,
It was like this weird variation. It's like, I love that. That's great. So anyway, that's awesome. Oney Lorcan got the win, and then throughout the night, you had basically everybody that's in the championship picture. They're continually brawling, with the exception of Adam Cole. Adam Cole wasn't anywhere to be found. So next, you had Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Killian Dane. And, I don't mind Hip Bow. I'm still not going to call them by how they are until they fix their freaking logo. It looks like a B. It's a good logo with a terrible oversight right there. It drives me insane.
You hide it so well.
Oh, it's just little things there. Anyway, it is what it is. It's Swerve got the win over Killian. They're setting up a whole angle with him and Maverick. I don't know. It feels like a holding pattern for all of Hit Row because I could tell they're planning for big things, which fine, cool,
Yeah.
but it's filler. It's whatever. Mercedes Martinez came out to face against some jobber. Literally, I have no idea what her name is. They never said her name. She got jumped by Xia Li and then beats up Xia Li, goes in, squashes the jobber. All right, so they're setting up this whole feud. Like I said, I'm not super excited for the match, but I am more intrigued now that I know this backstory, which actually makes sense. And it's like, holy shit, right? Throughout the night, you had two big storylines, okay? Aside from the whole championship picture, that's kind of going on anyway. You had two big storylines. You had Index, and you had the $1 Million Legacy, right?
Yeah.
So there was an interview because Poppy's here. Poppy's making an appearance. Poppy's really getting under Candace's skin because she's not getting the attention Poppy is, right?
God, I love Candace.
They are so. I liked Candace. I really liked her. I just love her even more now. And Indy. Hey, Indy. I'm going to start howling at Indy since I can because I love me some Indy Hartwell. She had, last week, if you remember, she had left her headphones that are playing 80s power ballads like on the table when they went to go do their match, and Dexter picked it up and shed a tear. And so she's like, he still loves me. I need to go find him. So she goes off to go find him, right? And I'll get back to them in a minute. Now, you had the other storyline, the promos that they keep kind of bouncing around with. They had, it's going to be, the $1 Million Legacy. So, it's going to be like a summit in the ring with Ted DiBiase, Cameron Grimes, and LA Knight. So you have separate promos for LA Knight and for Cameron Grimes in their homes. It's the same house, shot a different angle, but in their homes. And LA Knight's doing the typical, rich douchebaggy things, right?
Yeah.
Gets out of the shower, like, hey, Toots, bring me my champagne. He keeps calling the girls Tootses. He's in the hot tub, gets in the Mercedes GT, all this stuff, whatever. Cameron Grimes is trying to be his own variant of that. So he's in the pool and, it's just floundering around a little bit. And then he's trying to smoke a cigar and drink scotch, which both of them are something that apparently he's never done before because he just chokes on both and gets in his Rolls Royce and pulls up. So it's a good juxtaposition, and it gives me a thought that when the summit happens, I want to see a reaction to my idea. So Poppy then, it gets going back and forth. So then you have Poppy is there with William Regal and Triple H. And she made an EP of 5 songs for NXT, basically, because she's been big fans of NXT for a while.
Yeah.
And she's talking to Triple H, is asking her how it works, and she says she presses a button, and she just released her EP. So it's out there for those of you metal fans. Go download some Poppy. And he's like, Triple H, it's amazing. Triple H is great at selling. I love this because up comes Dexter Loomis. And he presents Poppy with a piece of artwork, like an appreciation, if you would, artwork for, what you do for NXT style. It could be her album cover. It probably is. I haven't looked on iTunes yet. Who knows? But that garners a large and long-lasting hug from Poppy to Loomis, which Indy, of course, walks into the room right as it happens.
That's so
and
good.
breaks her heart. And Triple H is selling like a son of a bitch behind him. There's like, oh, it's great. So good. So good. So pause on that one. Back to the $1 Million Legacy. So $1 Million Legacy is the $1 Million whatever summit is going on in the ring. There's Ted DiBiase in the ring with a little podium behind him. And then it goes outside. Pulls up Cameron Grimes in his white Rolls Royce and gets out of the car, and then right next to him up pulls LA Knight in his white Mercedes, and he's getting out strutting, and they're walking in and they're jarring at each other, and I'm like, it just hit me. Money Inc. 2.0. These two as a tag team. Because you think about it, they're equally annoying in a different way.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, you have like the rich L.A. or the snobby L.A. stuck up guy, and the rags to riches hillbilly. You know, the way they were playing off each other, I just got this vibe that's like that could be a tag team, and Jamie might even not hate that. I don't know.
I'm
it was
stewing on that because
it's
I
an
do like
interesting
LA
thought,
Knight.
right?
I do like me some LA Knight.
It's an interesting thought. I know. So they get out to the ring, and they're both trying to like smooze up DiBiase, and DiBiase tells them, it's all about what you do in the ring. So it's not about Sunday. It's not about just beating each other up. You have to climb the golden ladder, and out comes this golden ladder, right? Drops down from the sky, and they both do a little promo around it. And Cameron's like, "All right, what am I getting though? What am I grabbing for? What am I grabbing for?" And DiBiase brings the security guards into the ring with a briefcase, and sure enough, it's a ladder match for the $1 million championship. Ooh.
No.
Yeah.
Nope. No.
Well, you don't have to. I know who you're picking in that match, and you know who I'm picking in that match, and we have very similar reasons for picking who we're picking.
Yes. Yes. Fair.
So there is that. Also announced. So that's a kind of an amendment to their match at TakeOver. Then also announced was there's somewhere in the middle of this. There was a promo from Legado, interrupted by Bronson Reed and MSK, and they came up with the idea that they're going to do a 6-man tag. Winner take all. So the North American and the tag titles on the line in one match.
That's going to be a hell of a match.
That could steal the show. I'm just saying, because I don't know. The main event's going to be killer, but that could steal the show. Grizzled Young Veteran beat up a couple guys, and then they bickered with Tommaso and Thatcher, and then Dakota Kai and Ember Moon faced off in a very good final match.
Yeah,
Ember Moon ended up getting the win by disqualification when Raquel Gonzalez eventually, inevitably interfered, and then she hit one of the better looking, probably her best looking Eclipse, and she got back in NXT. Aided by the fact that Raquel sold like a son of a bitch. It was like The Rock getting stone cold stunned level of selling that she did. It did have the flopping, but it was just done like she hit, goes back, it just like it was a very good sell.
Yeah.
It ends with Cross coming out to the ring and wanted to call everybody out, and Regal's like, it's not going to happen. And one by one, all of them except for Adam Cole come out. What happens? They end up beating each other up, right? It ends with Cross demolishing the three of them, basically. And Cole had a little video saying he's not going to be there. He's not stupid, but he did show up, and he triple super kicked Cross, and that's how you ended the show. So that match is probably going to be a 30-minute just barn buster of a match with Gargano and Dunn.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah. 30 to 45-minute match. Guaranteed.
No doubt. I don't have any doubt in that. So that was NXT. So now we're all set. We're ready to go. Sunday is the TakeOver.
Yep.
Let's go through the card and let's get some picks out there, all right?
All right. So here is the card. We'll start at the bottom. So singles match, Mercedes Martinez versus Xia Li. Who you got?
I am gonna go. Remember, folks, we are vying for an actual belt. There is a child's replica belt that we are vying for, along with wrestling that little belt logo over Jamie's name. We want to get that in my corner,
Because I am the reigning, defending, undisputed NXT champion.
I'm gonna go Xia.
Same.
All right, so we're both
I
same there.
think that one's easy. So this is where we're definitely going to differ. The $1 million championship ladder match of LA Knight versus the loser Cameron Grimes.
I'm going with Cameron Grimes, of course, the man who is so over in NXT universe. You need to watch it. Like, you would be surprised how in the minority you are in your hatred of Cameron Grimes.
Well, the tens of people who enjoy him, that's fine. The
internet's come around to him too. Don't worry. You are definitely the minority, and that's okay, JB. You can still hate him.
I will.
But you are the minority now.
So LA Knight is who I got. 100%.
You got, of course you do, and of course I got Cameron. No
Yes.
doubt there. No doubt.
This could decide it because I think we're going to be probably the same the rest of the way. Winner takes all match for the NXT Tag Team Championship and the North American Championship. We have the colossal Bronson Reed and MSK versus Legado del Fantasma.
Here's the thing: I really wanted to go with Legato on this.
Same, but
I
I'm not going to.
really did, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go with because the Bronson Reed just won it, and I think that the Bronson Reed Isaiah Swerve Scott thing is. I think that that's going to be a thing. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with MSK and Bronson Reed, even though I kind of want to go with Legato.
Yeah, I'm Bronson Reed MSK. There's no way they're taking the belts off MSK. That was the big piece for me. Like maybe Bronson, but they're definitely not taking off MSK. They love those guys right now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
All right, NXT Women's Championship: Raquel Gonzalez versus the Ember Moon.
I think Raquel retains.
I want to say Ember. I really do.
You can say whatever you want.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna go Raquel. It just makes
Okay.
more sense. It just does.
Here's an interesting little idea that I heard from the internet, right? Once again, internet speculation, don't hold any stock to this, but I thought this was unbelievable. Dakota's the one who ends up dethroning Raquel.
Ooh.
Dakota turns on Raquel. She turns face after, and then right after she beats her to retain the title, Tegan Nox returns and turns heel and jumps her.
Oh, so then Tegan Nox will be the heel this time. Ooh,
And I'm like,
I love that.
I love that. I forgot to make a mention. I totally missed this. So one last thing, since we're talking about the women and Raquel, that happened during the show. Candice LeRae came out to the ring to call out Poppy because she caused Indy to leave the building crying. Love the index thing, right? And so Poppy comes out, and I'm like, is this our bad buddy moment? Because I mean, I don't know. Well, I've never seen Poppy move fast, so I don't know if she could wrestle.
Yeah.
She then confirms that because she's Candice calling her down the ring. She then confirms like, I don't know I can't wrestle, but I know someone who can. And then Io Shirai's music hits. Io's freaking back. Comes out to the ring, and her and Candice have had a series of matches. TakeOver Toronto, TakeOver 31.
God, yes,
Halloween
they've had.
Yes. Fantastic. Toronto was the part because I didn't know, because it was like, oh, this feels like it was a rivalry just made out of nowhere. Then I'm like, nope, I'm in. I am in. So she comes out, she attacks her. They make a mention that, Io's got to get herself a tag team partner if she wants to. And I'm like, why do you think Saray is sitting there?
Oh, her and Saray.
Her Saray.
Yes. That makes my heart happy.
Oh, anyway,
Do
sorry.
the happy dance for that one.
Yeah, that deserves a happy dance. So anyway, I
Yes.
forgot that. I totally forgot that. So let's get back to the card. But yeah,
Okay.
that happened.
So in the main event, the 45-minute instant classic banger alert potential, we have the NXT Championship fatal 5-way match of the champion Karrion Kross versus Adam Cole versus Pete Dunne versus Johnny Gargano versus cool guy Kyle O'Reilly. This one's going to be great, but I think I know the answer to this one.
Well, you go first on this one.
Okay. I don't see them taking the belt off of Karrion Kross right now.
Oh, okay.
I want to say Adam Cole, like with every fiber of my being once again, but I just don't think they're going to take off Karrion right now.
I'm gonna say Adam Cole.
Ooh, so we're different.
We
Here
are
we go. Here we go. Because
we'll get it sorted out. Well, okay. Here we're all going to improve upon this. First of all, this tiebreaker. So here's why I say Adam Cole. I have a sneaking suspicion because they've been down looking at people to bring up, right?
Yeah.
For Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah.
I think Karrion Kross is your person who's going to go up to the main roster.
God, he needs a better finisher.
He needs a finisher, so yes. But I don't know. To me, that sounds like a WWE move. He's a guy they want to see on the main roster feuding against Roman Reigns or
Oh yeah, but he needs a
Bobby
pop-up
Lashley.
test bomb. He needs the pop-up test bomb. Still
I
calling.
don't disagree. That's my only guess. I almost wanted to say Kyle O'Reilly to really throw for a swerve there because I was gonna, not because I want that to happen, but I think that would, open up the Kyle O'Reilly Adam Cole thing. I just think Adam Cole. I'm going.
Okay.
I gotta stay. You can't go against Bebe.
All right. So then, are we doing time limit on this one? Because
Let's do time limit. Let's do time limit. And here's my question. Okay, so time limit. Are we doing closest to or closest to without going over?
Closest to, period.
So so if I say 9 minutes, you say 10 and a half, and it's 10 minutes and 15 seconds, you still win, even though you're okay.
Yes.
Closest to.
That just makes it closest to the
That
pin.
is that's the fairest. That is definitely the fairest.
Yeah, because I'd say 1 minute, Bob.
Right. Yeah, the last person, it's Price is Right bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
all right.
anyway.
So as the
Okay.
defending champion, I will actually go first.
Oh, because you have the right to reserve your. Okay.
I know, and I'm gonna go. I have to think about this. This is a tough one. 37 minutes and 46 seconds.
Okay, 37:46.
Even get into the seconds.
No, I'm definitely you gotta do seconds. I'm gonna go a little bit. I'm gonna go on the other side of the coin there. I'm gonna go 31 minutes 35 seconds.
31:35.
So if it's below 31, JJ wins. If it's above 37 and a half, Jamie wins. But get that in between there.
Yeah,
is probably where it's
originally I
going
wanted
to
say about
be.
32, but I'm like, no, 37. I feel like because there's so many guys, there's so many things going on. The Adam Cole Kyle O'Reilly match was 41 minutes, if you remember that. It was 41.
Right, but that was
minutes.
also a gimmicky match sort of bit. I mean, this is a 5-way, so it is.
Yeah,
it
this is
set
very
up for
gimmicky. It's
that.
got gimmicky written all over.
I mean, but I think you look at this, I think that because, even though it's only 5 matches, both the women's matches is only, I don't know, the women's matches are the 2 straight matches.
Yeah.
You have a singles match and you have a singles match, and then there's a ladder match and a 6-person match. So I think they're going to overcompensate for the women's and make them a little longer than maybe they need to be to fill the card up a little bit more. Because I think that ladder matches can go long.
Absolutely.
6-person tag, that one's going to be probably, I imagine that's going to be about the same time as this match. Maybe a little less, but still,
Yeah.
25 minutes solid, easy. So, all right, well, that's what we got. So we got our tiebreaker in there. Hopefully we won't need it, but we're doing an actual tiebreaker. And on that note, you had raised question about doing the card for Dynamite.
Yeah.
And in the shower last night, it hit me out of nowhere. It's like, why do that? Because Megan and I, because I'm looking at the card and I bet you we're going to pick pretty much the same thing. How do we do this? We pick a match, whether it's the Young Bucks and Cutler versus Pac Phoenix and Kingston, or 10 and Hangman versus Brian Cage and Powerhouse Hobbs. One of those 2 matches, and we do time. Me and your daughter.
I'm
that's
fair.
fair.
With that, but I'd want to defer to the actual champion because she's
And
not
that's why-
lost her belt.
Well, I have. That's weird because I actually have the belt above me. I don't know. It says there that
I have the
won.
physical belt in my house. So.
Well, you also have my reward from the work event that we did a month and a half ago at your house, apparently. Or
Oh, whatever. Wasn't that long. But
whatever it is.
so
anyway,
but again.
We tied.
One wise man said, "In order to be the man, you got to beat the man," and you tied the man.
Well, I was
not a beat.
there. No show. No
I-
call. No show.
I
no
think,
win.
I think that little guy up there in your corner.
He's staying there until we get the definitive answer on Sunday night when we shoot our.
That seems fair.
We will have.
We could pick one. I think
I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it until. But if I lose, I get it's fine. But give her if she's cool with that, and it's her choice. She can pick either of those 2 matches. All the other matches are pretty predictable and not going to bother, right?
Yeah.
I say, but either one of those 2 matches, pick one, give it time. I'll give it time. We'll go.
Okay.
That's what we're going to do to solve that.
I like it. I'm for it.
So that's fair and equitable. Because if we just did the card, it'd be the same thing. We keep drawing this out every week. It's
Yeah.
well, part of me is cool with that.
It'd be like WWE, just the same shit every week.
Yeah, we're gonna 50-50 book our toy championship picks belts. So let's do that.
It'd be a slow burn for 6 months.
So Monday morning, Sunday night when we record. Monday morning we got a lot to go over. So we're gonna talk all about NXT in your house. In your house 2021 or whatever the hell it's called. We're also going to resolve the AEW belt. So 2 belts for sure. And we don't have a belt on the line for it, but we're going to talk briefly about Against All Odds. We'll give you the results because that's happening on Saturday night. I'm buying it. Impact pay-per-views are cheap. Last one's like $10.
Yeah, they're not expensive. The big ones, the Slammiversary is going to be
Slammiversary is going to be. There's going to be a live crowd there too. We might have to do. I know they don't make a toy belt, but we might have to do a picks for Slammiversary.
Oh, 100%. It deserves it.
Yeah, and like I said, I've been enjoying Impact Wrestling. I know Nick has when he can watch it, and you've watched some. Did you watch that Josh Alexander match?
Yes. Oh my God.
Wasn't it?
It's everything I like. Everything I like.
It's not going to be.
It missed one thing. That's it.
You didn't have a line tamer.
Nope, no line tamer. That was it.
Yep.
And that's not saying much because it had everything else I liked.
1,000%. It was. I told you, you would love it. We like Josh Alexander. You like submission, that technical style. It was great. It was so good. I don't think it's going to be a top 5, but it's definitely right now in contention for match of the year in JJ's end of the year award book. So anyway, so far the card for Against All Odds is Kenny Omega versus Moose. Tonight is Impact, and this and the women's match may get tweaked. So Scott D'Amore is teasing because they're having a summit with Tony Khan coming to Impact. He's teasing that they might make it a 3-way with Sami Callihan and Moose and Kenny Omega. So we'll see what happens with that. But right now it's Moose versus Kenny Omega for the Impact Unified title. You have Deonna Purrazzo versus right now just Rosemary. Same thing. Rosemary challenged Havoc to one more match tonight, and if Havoc wins, she gets in on a triple threat as well.
Not every title defense needs to be a damn triple threat.
I know. I don't think both of these will. I think one may be, but I don't think both will. Anyway, but so Deonna Purrazzo versus at least Rosemary, potentially Rosemary and Havoc. The women's tag titles is definitely a singles match. You have Fire and Flava versus Susan and Kimberly for the tag titles. That came out of nowhere, but they're Deonna Purrazzo's like young girls, stablemates, if you would. I don't want to call them young girls. Both of them are seasoned veterans. Kimberly's actually married to one of the MSK guys. I can't remember which one. The white guy.
Yeah, whatever. The one with the messy teeth.
Is that Blake? I can't keep them straight. Anywho.
Block. Thank you.
Hey, Ron! No. You got the X Division #1 contender match. It's Chris Bay, Ace Austin. I don't have it in front of me. I'm trying to remember this. Okay, Chris Bay, Ace Austin, Petey Williams, Trey Miguel. Son of a bitch. Chris Sabin.
Oh. Ooh. That's solid.
Yeah. Yeah, 5-way for #1 contender. So that'll be fun. That'll be good times. And then you got Big Joe During versus Kojima. So
I'm looking for that one.
That should be good. They actually have a history too, because Joe During fought him over in Japan. In a previous life, if you would, in a previous wrestling life, let's call it that. So, that's the card thus far. There very well could be some stuff that I'm forgetting. Honest to God, I don't have it pulled up in front of me because it's not finalized yet. So, it's gonna be a good show, even if it is a triple threat: Moose, Sami Callihan, and Kenny Omega. Any combination of that's worth price of admission, along with that X Division 5-way. I mean, it's got 2 of my favorite young wrestlers in there, Chris Bay and Trey Miguel. Petey Williams add dash some Petey Williams in, a little Chris Sabin. Ace Austin's fantastic. Yes, please. It's gonna be great.
Yes. Let's please more of
great.
that.
I do think that the women's division needs to kind of move forward into inevitable feuds. I mean, it is what it is, But
Right?
you gotta think you do have Slammiversary coming up in July, so you don't want to tip your cap all the way. So that's what we got for Impact. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about In Your House. We'll resolve our AEW, asterisks, if you would. We'll take care of all that on Sunday night for Monday's show. We'll be back Monday. We're back again then next week, as always, Tuesday and Thursday. We got till July because the rest of June, Dynamites are going to be on Friday or Saturday night. So we're going to keep doing those on our Tuesday show. This show is going to be more kind of an informational news hour, whatever. We'll talk about Journey Pro a lot more next week. Don't you worry about that.
Oh, yes.
And please go follow Journey Pro, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, MySpace, Friendster, wherever you go.
Yes.
Go follow Journey Pro if you're in Kansas City, if you're near Kansas City, or if you're the person that says, I would travel a couple hours to get to Kansas City to see some good stuff, follow them. They're well worth the time. I follow independent promotions from down in Georgia, for God's sake. I don't care. So that's what we got. I don't have anything else. Jamie, you got anything else you want to go over?
No, man. I'm just excited for some pay-per-views this weekend. I think both of them are going to be really damn good.
Yeah, it's going to be a good weekend of pay-per-views, unlike next weekend's pay-per-view. So, ha.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you take us home then?
All right, everybody. Well, it's pretty simple. If you're not down with TSL, I got 4 words for you. I love you, Journey Pro.
Love you so much. All right, thank you guys. We'll see you next time.
Peace.